Famous Guitars, episode number 32. You take a guitar player, alternative, not really known as a guitar god, but great rhythmic skills, and you might think I'm talking about this guitar right here. And of course, I'm talking about the Edge and his Fender Stratocaster. In the alternative punk and new wave scenes in the late 1970s and early 1980s, the Stratocaster was often seen as a square traditionalist and conventional weaponry of classic rockers and bluesers like Jimi Hendrix, Ritchie Blackmore, Yngwie Malmsteen, and Eric Clapton. As such, for a time, there at least, it just wasn't much in favor of what you might call the hip crowd. Players were often taking up other names, alternatives like the Jazzmaster and the Jaguar, or Jaguar, the Les Paul Special and Junior, and other second-tier electrics. In using a 1970 Stratocaster to log many of his most notable tones, however, U2's The Edge, aka Dave Evans, helped drag this seminal Fender towards indie's cutting edge, making it once again acceptable to younger up-and-coming generation of players. While The Edge is reported to own more than 200 guitars and commonly takes more than 40 on tour with him at any time, Stratocasters take up a bigger chunk of his collection than any other model. Although the Strats that peppered the most notably early U2 recordings weren't the prized pre-CBS models. In the early days, he plied his trade on several workaday 1970 Stratocasters with large headstocks, 3-bolt necks, and a bullet head truss rod adjustment nut, and forged an instantly recognizable signature sound in the process. Some of the earliest U2 photos around 1977 and 1978 show the guitarist wheeling a mid-70 Stratocaster with sunburst finish, and a black 73 Strat was often his main squeeze through the 1980s, when the 76 Gibson Explorer was resting. And if an Electro Harmonix Deluxe Memory Man delay pedal and Vox AC30 gave certain homogeneity to many of the early recordings, the Stratocaster's bright, glassy cutting power can certainly be heard amid the whirl of much of it. Where the Stratocaster had previously been known primarily as a lead instrument, the Edge took its percussive rhythmic capabilities to new heights. Neither a lead nor a rhythm player per se, he established a rhythmic momentum on the instrument that allowed U2's early songs, in particular, to display plenty of air and space while retaining a compelling forward motion and simultaneously eliminating any real need for solos or chord parts in the traditional sense. Listen, for example, to his churning, bouncing performance on Where the Streets Have No Name in 1987's The Joshua Tree, and hear how well Leo's goal for bright cutting tone works in context he could in no way have envisioned when designing the guitar in 1953 and 1954. In its own way, and for its time, it was a fitting tribute to the traditional that the alternative could make. And you can find this story and many others in the Guitars That Rock the World Ultimate Star Guitars Expanded Edition by Dave Hunter. And there it is, your episode number 32, The Edge Fender Stratocaster. And like, share, and follow for more Famous Guitars.